again, and welcome to this episode of Senior Living. We're glad you chose to join us this time, and we've got a lot of great information for you. It's been a little warm here in the Verde Valley over the last few weeks, and it's definitely, we can expect it to get hotter yet. And along with the temperatures, all of the activities throughout the entire Verde Valley are heating up for the summertime. We do want to remind you that there are a lot of ideas that we cover here on the show. We try to fill you in with all of the information, all of the events that are going on, but we also would like to remind you to let us know if there's some specific topic that you want to hear about. One of the topics that we cover as much as possible, because we know how important it is both to our community and to ourselves individually, is different organizations, different ways that we can help out in the community. And one of them has a great mission and a great efforts that they have put forth to help our community families. We are very happy to have with us today Jennifer Perry, Executive Director with Camp Soaring Eagle. Jennifer, thanks so much for coming on the show. We're very, very happy to have you.
Well, thank you for having us, Pam. It's great to see you again, and I'm really happy to spread the word about Camp Soaring Eagle and let the community know what we're doing.
Well, and as you mentioned, we have worked together before. We did some things in the past, and Camp Soaring Eagle has got such a great tradition of the way they've helped our community. Just let's start off a little bit with the mission of Camp Soaring Eagle and when you got started and how you're working towards that mission.
Sure. Well, we started 4 years ago in 2008, and we're a nonprofit organization here based in Sedona, and we provide year-round camping programs to children suffering with chronic and life-threatening illnesses. So this is an opportunity for these children to forget about the needles and the doctor's appointments for a little bit and be in a safe environment with doctors and nurses and be surrounded by their peers where they can just have fun, laugh, and just be kids.
I've seen a lot of the videos and the opportunities that they've had, and I don't think there's anything they could trade it for.
No, it's really wonderful, and there isn't any other organization in the state of Arizona that provides year-round programming like this to a variety of illnesses. So we're really filling a need that just isn't being filled any other way.
Right. The organization you said began 4 years ago, yep. and it is a locally based organization, right?
Yep. Yeah. Our headquarters are right on Highway 179 in the village of Oak Creek. We do have a number of employees that work out of their home around the state because we serve children from all over Arizona. But our office is here in Sedona, and we provide camping programs right in Camp Verde at the Jackpot Ranch, up at the Briar Patch Inn on 89A, which is just a gorgeous location. And then we do a number of day programs and travel trips for the kids.
Oh, that sounds so wonderful. Okay, you mentioned how the different locations and facilities that you use and that your programs provide services for children with many different kinds of illnesses. So how are the families selected? How are the children selected to be helped?
The campers are referred to us through a variety of organizations. First and foremost is their pediatrician or the hospitals in which they're receiving treatment. We work with child life specialists across the state who work with the social and psychological well-being of the child. And then we partner with all sorts of other nonprofit organizations, such as the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, Muscular Dystrophy Association, the Hemophilia Association. So these organizations that are helping to treat the illness and try to find cures, we're here to try to make their time here while they're dealing with those illnesses as happy as possible.
And you mentioned that you provide services to the children statewide.
Yep.
Do I remember correctly? Are there multi-state kinds of referrals that you also do?
Our goal is to eventually serve the 4 southwestern states, Arizona, okay. Nevada, Utah, and New Mexico. But currently, right now, while we're 4 years old, we haven't been able to reach the number of children in Arizona. There's actually over 125,000 children in the state of Arizona alone who are suffering with serious illnesses. So Right now, we're growing each year. Last year, we served 600 campers and family members. This year, we're on target to serve 1,000, but we have a ways to go to reach that 125,000. So,
yeah,
one child at a time.
That gives you something to look forward to. I know that every time you see a smile on one of those kids' faces, it's got to give you that much more energy to go back after it.
It sure is. The kids write us letters after their camp sessions, and you know, there's nothing more endearing to me than to get those letters in the mail with they stay up late at night and they've made the paper and they draw the pictures and they tell you, you know, what it was like to be with other kids who've overcome and conquered the types of illnesses that these kids have, and to feel safe and to feel comfortable to talk about it.
Right.
It just makes you want to get up and work harder every day.
Right. And we've all, again, we've talked about some of these things on senior living and past episodes. We all have been either touched or could potentially be touched by some of these horrible things that happen to our families. So it's always a very good idea to keep in mind the opportunities that we have to reach out and help when we can.
It sure is. And you know, it's hard enough to deal with an illness when you're an adult, but to face the fears of your mortality and your future when you're, you know, 5, 7, 8 years old is really psychologically a huge hurdle for these kids.
Yeah, the thing I think that that I've watched over the years that I've known you, because I think it's probably been about 3 years now. So you were into Camp Soaring Eagle for about a year. I know that I've met some of the other people that are involved, and what a great bunch of people. There are a lot of different types of fundraising efforts that you have put together. And briefly, let me back up for a second. I do know that, like you mentioned, Jackpot Ranch, you got Briar Patch, and there are a lot of organizations that provide the facilities that you need to be able to provide the services.
Right.
All in an effort, will you be planning to build, are there other plans in the future for Camp Soaring Eagle to have a permanent home?
Yes, it's our ultimate goal to build our own camping facility, but you know, in these economic times over the last few years, no one expected the economy to do what it did. So it's really been the best physical responsible choice for us to use loaned or rented facilities for right now. Ultimately, we are working to build up our endowment and our capital campaign funds and so forth so that we can build a permanent facility.
Well, that leads me to several other questions, but Jennifer, if it's okay with you, we're going to take a short break. We're going to recognize some of our sponsors, and we're going to come back and talk a little bit about those fundraising efforts and all of the different opportunities that we have to help out. Stay tuned.
You meet other people of your age or older. They are still active and interested. This gives you a bit of a boost too. I'm taking an art class and football for feminists. Yavapai College, life explored.
I have a bachelor's degree already. I have a career job. When I realized I wasn't happy, I decided that I was going to go back and attend art school, which is something I had always wanted to do. I really have explored new avenues in my life. Yavapai College, life explored.
My mom's a hardcore enabler. I first realized it when she said we should have a party at our house.
Have fun tonight? You ready?
She even got my dad to say okay.
Just lighten up a little bit.
She's so hooked on enabling that my friends think she's their buddy. She doesn't care. Why should I?
Enabling is a drug. Get help. The partnership at drugfree.org.
The big guy comes off the bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
are still talking to Jennifer Perry, Executive Director with Camp Soaring Eagle right here in the Verde Valley. And we were just discussing some of the different events and ways that Camp Soaring Eagle raises funds to help these families. We do want to back up, Jennifer, just a little bit. The reason that we go through all of these fundraising efforts with Camp Soaring Eagle is because
camp is completely free of charge to the campers and their families. They're all under tremendous financial burdens with the medical costs for the treatment of their child. So camp is completely free of charge.
And I guess one more quick question. Camp can be day camps, as you mentioned. What other types of camping experience do they have?
Sure, we do family sessions for campers who have recently been diagnosed with either cancer or juvenile diabetes, so the whole family gets to come to camp, the siblings, brothers and sisters, and that's really a great way for these families who are kind of in shock to be able to be with other families in the same situation. And we do camper weekends that are illness specific at the Jackpot Ranch in Camp Verde. And then we do travel programs where kids go as a group and they fly from Phoenix all the way back to either Connecticut or upstate New York to some of the Association of Hole-in-the-Wall camps, and they participate in International Week. And they're with kids from all over the world with similar conditions.
Okay, now I have to ask one more question before we move on, and that is Hole-in-the-Wall camps?
Yep. The Hole in the Wall is an international organization. Actually, they just changed their name to the Seriously Fun Network.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was founded by Paul Newman. He started the first camp in Connecticut, and we go there every summer. In fact, we had 40 campers go this year. We had our largest session ever.
That's awesome.
And 8 chaperones, so we pretty much filled half the plane.
Excellent.
And they were with kids from Turkey and France and Ecuador, and they just had the time of their life.
Seriously Fun Network. I'm trying to remember that one. That's actually a great name change, I think. That
it really
well.
is. And you know, they represent the gold standard in medically based camping, and that's the model that we're following. And we really pride ourselves on the world-class programming and care that we provide for these children.
Well, I know that one of the things coming up that is intended to help fund all of these efforts is the second annual Ride for Children's Laughter motorcycle ride. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we're really excited. We brought our motorcycle run to northern Arizona. You can get out of the heat from the valley, enjoy some of the most scenic roads in all of America. So right here, they're going to start up at Eagle Rider on Saturday, July 21st. And we're going to have a great run down to Mormon Lake Lodge, lunch at Cliff Castle Casino, over to the gold mine in Jerome, over to the Mesa Grill at the Sedona Airport, and back up 89A for a barbecue up at Eagle Rider.
That is going to be so much fun. It is to raise funds for Camp Soaring Eagle, but it's very reasonable.
Yeah, you know, it's $25 for a rider, $15 for a passenger. We'll have some prizes. It's a poker run. We have some great prizes for the winners. But we just really want people to come out, enjoy a great day, smile, laugh, have a great time, and know that you're helping some children who really could use a break right now.
Doesn't get much better than that. What other events do we have coming up that we can look forward to? That's a pretty good one, and I think any of us that are bike-oriented are going to look forward to that. Maybe I'm not. What else can I look forward to?
Well, we have a really fun raffle the month of July, and you can buy tickets on our website. It's only $10 a chance, or you can get 6 for $50, and we're giving away a trip to San Diego for 4 people. You can fly from anywhere in the state of Arizona or Nevada on a private jet to San Diego. We have a sailing trip on San Diego Harbor and 2-night stay at an oceanside resort, the Catamaran Resort.
Wow.
So that's the grand prize. Now this is only $10. The second prize is 2 tickets to our signature fundraising event every year. It's the annual affair, and it's hosted by our official spokesperson, Jane Seymour.
Right.
So we have 2 tickets. Those tickets cost $350 a piece, and you'll get your picture taken with Jane Seymour at our event.
Oh, wow.
So that's a real fun one. And she's just delightful and really loves the children and just does a great job at our event. And this year's theme is Candyland. So you're going to actually go around the board. It's at the Arizona Biltmore in October. So we're really excited about that. And then our third prize is an $800 Jane Seymour white gold angel and diamond necklace.
Oh, absolutely. That's beautiful.
So we have 3 great prizes, and it's only $10 to win. We're just doing this raffle for the month of July. The drawing will take place on July 30th. You can buy tickets on our website, campsoaringeagle.org, or if you'd like to really make a difference and would like to help sell tickets, you can contact me in my office, and we will consign books of tickets, and people can go out and sell them to their church or their community group.
Sounds pretty wonderful.
Yeah, and it's so important because it is free of charge to the campers. It costs us $1,000 on average to serve a child. We are halfway through the year. The summer months are really tough for fundraising, so we appreciate any help we can get.
And I think that all of these efforts that you're making at this point seem very simple for us to get involved in. What else? How else can we help Camp Soaring Eagle?
Well, we are always looking for volunteers for events, for camping programs. Our Ride for Children's Laughter on Saturday, July 21st, we need volunteers to be at the various stops to help give out waters, to punch the poker cards for the riders as they come through. So if you're interested in volunteering, you can talk to Rick James in our office, and our number's 284-9393. He's looking for volunteers. And then we have such a wealth of individuals here in the Verde Valley, and so many people who have had fabulous careers or talents that they've procured throughout their life that we would love to share with the children. The Verde Valley astronomers come out and do stargazing with the kids. We have Gary Pierce comes out from Sedona Golf Resort and teaches the kids golf. We have retired teachers who help with arts and crafts. So if there's some talent that you have that you want to teach the children, again, please call our office at 284-9393. We have a vetting and a screening process, obviously, for the safety of the children, but we'd love to bring those talents to the kids.
We mention it very, very, very often. If this is something that you feel that you have a special calling to help with, get a hold of Camp Soaring Eagle. We've had the information on the screen. Jennifer Perry, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been great. I loved catching up. I love hearing about camp. I love the new name of the Hole in the Wall Camp. I think that's great. Best wishes on all of your efforts to move forward. And thank you so much for working with our community and in our community to help these kids. It's great. Thanks again.
Thank you. And I have a little gift for you, Pam. It's a Camp Soaring Eagle giving band.
Oh,
so thank you so much.
This is great. Thank you. I appreciate it. Stay tuned. We've got a lot more coming up on this episode of Senior Living, but right now we're going to take a short break.
Hi, I'm Ben Bueller, owner and funeral director at Bueller Funeral Homes. My grandfather once told me, you can serve a family selfishly once, or treat them right and serve that family for generations.
Bueller Funeral Home has been serving Arizona families for 3 generations with affordable and reasonable services. Bueller Funeral Home feels a funeral should be as unique and personal as the individual it honors, whatever your choices, your traditions, or your budget.
Now, some action from the courts. Billie Jean King renewing her rivalry with Arthritis. First set, furious volley, and right to the net for a winner. Beautiful forehand there. Arthritis, stunned. And here, match point. Billie Jean with the ace, taking it in straight sets. Afterwards, a jubilant Billie Jean King.
Tennis is a weapon for me with arthritis. There's nothing like it for me to hit a ball, run to the ball, anytime, any court. I'm ready. Let's go.
What's your weapon against arthritis? Find out at fightarthritispain.org.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers. This is first pitch, and fouls it back.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back to Senior Living, and thanks for staying tuned. We've got a lot more great information, a lot more entertainment. We're very fortunate to have a guest with us today that is, there's a lot of different kinds of entertainment and music available, but one of the things I think that's the most intriguing is the fact that we actually can see operas, we can see the theater, we can see all kinds of things right here in our very own Verde Valley. And we are very pleased to have Chamber Music Sedona.
That's it.
And the Mr. Bert Harclerode, am I saying that correctly?
That's correct,
I should have checked with you.
Yes, thank you.
Bert is here with us. He is the director, and I have been so fascinated by all the information that I've looked up as we prepared to have Mr. Harclerode as a guest. So first of all, congratulations to Chamber Music Sedona on 30 years here in the Verde Valley.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about its beginnings and where it came from.
Chamber music is music that's shared among friends, and this is no exception to that rule. There were a group of people back in the early 80s that got together and said, let's put together a small gathering of friends and do a couple concerts for ourselves, and soon it began to grow. There are a number of people here in town that are still with us. One of them is Baron Unger, who was a founding father, if you will, of the organization. And from that standpoint, 30 years ago, it's grown from a chamber music festival, which typically took place in the latter part of May, the early part of June,
right,
to now what we are doing is an all-round season of performances, all round to the point where it's in our season, which runs, for all intents and purposes, from October through and including June.
Excellent. Tell us a little bit about I was definitely intrigued by the idea that it did begin as the roots of chamber music always begin in people's homes, and just grew from there. And now there's a fairly large board of directors, and the process, I shouldn't say it's not large and overwhelming, but it's definitely, you can definitely see that there's a huge amount of interest in what's provided by the organization.
Thank you. We've got a terrific board of trustees, and they are all a working group of people and do a terrific job. And that said, they're the ones that provide the governance and oversight. So from that standpoint, they empower me to provide the vision, if you will, and the artistic product. And we're very fortunate now to include not just chamber music and our Bluegrass Festival, but also the Metropolitan Opera live in HD, which is simulcast directly from New York City into the Sedona Performing Arts Center. And from there, we're able to screen it live on the big screen. We show it in surround sound. It's a wonderfully comfortable location and seating and so on and so forth. And we also serve a lovely lunch during the course of 1 or 2 of the intermissions. And then one of the things that really makes us unique is the pre-opera talks that are presented by a number of noted speakers, so to speak. And from there, the novice, or myself, for example, can learn a bit more about the opera, whether it's the composer, the context in which the work was written, the orchestration, the fascinating characters that are part of the opera, the libretto or the text or the story behind the opera, the story behind the composer. Really and truly, when you look at what chamber music does now, we are fortunate to present the most intimate of performances. We've had solo cellists here, we've had solo pianists, etc. And then when you look on the spectrum of the grandiose production, the opera is indeed the most moving and compelling of all those in that large grand opera setting. And to that end, it brings all these components together, because really and truly, many of the great musicians within the Metropolitan Opera Orchestra are those that love to play chamber music, because it's music for friends, and it's very telling.
I've been fortunate enough to have gone to a few operas. It's something that, because of where we live, I thought, I probably won't be able to take advantage of that very often, because, so I'm not going to get too worried about it. But with the information that's available, it it definitely brings it back around full circle. Yes, you can take advantage of all there is to offer. Your opera schedule for the 2012-13 season is pretty jam-packed, sir.
There are a dozen operas, and that's not a baker's dozen. We've got 4 Verdi operas. It's a season for celebration for Giuseppe Verdi. There's a brand new opera by a fellow named Thomas Addis, who is a British composer, and I know a number of young men that know him personally, and they say his music is fantastic. And The Tempest is the theme, and how he brings it to life will be a very exciting experience. We've also got a Baroque opera, Julius Caesar by Friedrich Handel. We've also got music by Donizetti. We've also got, of course, La Clemenza di Tito by Mozart. So it really is a wonderful experience, and with 12 operas, we're hoping that our viewers will say, oh, we'll go see it once. And I think once they see it once, they'll say, my goodness gracious, we didn't know something like this was here.
That's exactly what I'm thinking is going to happen, because even to me, the opera, the Metropolitan Opera piece of chamber music, Sedona, is, I didn't realize there were so many, so I think that that's going to be it's a great opportunity for us here in the Verde Valley. The concert schedule is just as impressive.
Well, thank you. And we're trying to tie this 30-year season together in ways that really unify the 2 different components, that being chamber music and opera.
Got it.
We are very, very fortunate to bring to town for our opening concert in November after everything else is done. We've got so much going on in October that we said we'll have 2 operas in October, and we'll make the best with that. And then our concert season will open up in November, and that'll be Sunday, November 11th, with the one and only Romero Guitar Quartet. These gentlemen represent 3 generations of royalty of the guitar. And the opening piece, I believe, or one of the pieces they'll play within their program, is the Carmen Fantasy of Bizet. So we'll tie it in thematically with the opera by presenting that particular work within the body of a concert that'll include solos, it'll include guitar duets, and 4 different guitar quartets themselves as in a string quartet to tie it all together. Then we move into January. We've got a young string quartet. Many of our viewers, I think, will know the name Clarence Shaw. Recently we lost his wife Nancy, and in honor of Nancy we will have the concert with Clarence's grandson. Young man Cameron Shaw, who was here earlier with the Verde Valley Sinfonietta and did a wonderful job with David Cripps conducting. And we're absolutely delighted to bring him here in a program we call the German Masters. And they're going to bring with them my fellow Chamber Music America board member, Norman Fisher, who's a cellist, to perform the great Schubert cello quintet, which is one of the great pieces of all time. So they'll be doing a variety of different activities, from in-school concerts to a free concert at St. John Vianney Church on the Friday that they're here. They'll also do 4 solo performances in 4 different houses of worship in Sedona. And we try to integrate them into the community and let the kids see it and hopefully get the parents a little bit engaged. And I've found oftentimes that our programs, the live concerts that we've done, which have served maybe 10,000, maybe more kids, are those that provide oftentimes the first opportunity to live classical music. And when it's performed by young people, which is often the case for us because we are able to bring in the young ensembles, it really strikes with them and it speaks to them.
I think that's so important, exposing not just the community, but all ages of the community. It's a huge effort and undertaking.
It really is, but it's really a wonderful celebratory way to look at things. And as I was talking with some of your guests here today, music really does tell the story of the human experience.
It does.
And it does in so many different ways. And we're very fortunate to be able to do it as we do with Chamber Music Sedona. So then in February, we move to the Harlem String Quartet, and they'll do a program called From Schubert to Strayhorn. They'll do one of the great Schubert pieces once again and play some music of Billy Strayhorn. They'll continue on with a few other jazz pieces and also perform a work of Mozart's as well. Then we have a group called Musica Pacifica, which is a Baroque quartet, and they will perform their concert called Dancin' in the Isles. Isles as in I-S-L-E-S. So be extracting music from the different islands around the Bahamas and throughout the world for their root and their base of the program there. So it should be a lot of fun. This is the first Baroque group we've had for I think 6 or 7 years. And then we finish up the concert season with a trio that is just knock 'em dead, kill 'em, rock 'em in your shoes. From the Chamber Music Society of Lincoln Center, we have violist Paul Neubauer. And with Paul is pianist Anne-Marie McDermott. They'll be coming with a young lady whose voice is to die for. Susanna Phillips is one of the most remarkable voices of this age. And she'll be coming with them to do a program called It's a Long Way to Tipperary. So within the 2 opera programs at the beginning of the season, the end of the season, the 12 operas that we have, we also put a little icing on the cake with our Bluegrass Festival. We're still in the midst of putting the dates together, but when we have those down, we look forward to come back with you and let our viewers know what's going on.
I looked forward to that as well. I also wanted to point out we may think of some clever way to make this book available to one of our viewers, but in the meantime, if you are interested at all in getting the full perspective on classical music, this is a book that was published by NPR.
Yes, that's right.
And Miles Hoffman is one of the leading experts. And
Absolutely.
This is available at Chamber Music Sedona, at any of the concerts, any of the performances. And it's something that you'll really appreciate taking a look at. We are definitely going to have you come back in at some point through the season. Also want to remind everyone that there is a lot on the website. There is a lot of information out there, and we would encourage you to take advantage of it. Get familiar with it now before the season starts, so you don't want to miss out on the start of the season.
May I add that people can give us a call if they'd like to at 204-2415, or they can also log on to the web at chambermusicsedona.org.
That sounds great. We've had it on the screen, but please, if you missed any of that information, call us here, visit myradioplace.com. I have certainly enjoyed having you here. I'm very excited about the season. Look forward to it, and look forward to having you back again where we can talk about some of the specific performances.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you at the opera.
See ya. Thank you. We're going to check in with some of our sponsors, and we're going to join you right back here. Stay tuned.
If spirit means you feel good, then I've accomplished that goal, because I do feel good physically and I feel good mentally. My name is Bob, and I'm a lifelong learner at Yavapai College. Life Explored.
I think it's just the time where you become who you are. You have to learn what really makes you, defines you. Exploring life, trying new things, following your dreams. My name is Ryzen. I'm a student at Yavapai College. Life Explored.
Now, some action from the courts. Billie Jean King renewing her rivalry with Arthritis. First set, furious volley, and right to the net for a winner. Beautiful forehand there. Arthritis, stunned. And here, match point. Billie Jean with the ace, taking it in straight sets. Afterwards, a jubilant Billie Jean King.
Tennis is a weapon for me with arthritis. There's nothing like it for me to hit a ball, run to the ball, anytime, any court. I'm ready. Let's go.
What's your weapon against arthritis? Find out at fightarthritispain.org.
My mom's a hardcore enabler. I first realized it when she said we should have a party at our house.
Have fun tonight? You ready?
She even got my dad to say
Just
okay.
lighten up a little bit.
She's so hooked on enabling that my friends think she's their buddy. She doesn't care. Why should I?
Enabling is a drug. Get help. The partnership at drugfree.org.
Welcome back to Senior Living, and we are enjoying some great Arizona sunshine, some cool water, kicking back at the pool. Just doesn't get much better than that, but actually it does. Sometimes, some statistics show that 1 in 3 senior adults falls each year, primarily as a result of loss of coordination, loss of balance, loss of muscle strength, and we all know that one way to maintain that is to exercise. Sometimes exercise just hurts. Many of us like to go run, we like to work out at the gym, but many of us suffer pain when we're pain for our bones and joints when we do that. And just add water and we'll get over it. We are fortunate enough to visit with Lori Maine. She's a fitness instructor at Cottonwood Parks and Rec, and Lori has been involved in a lot of different fitness programs, and currently this is one of the things that she's involved with. Lori, thanks very much for joining us. We're very happy to have you here. What attracted you to the water exercise programs? How'd you get started?
Well, I like to be by water myself, like you, and I have worked with seniors. I work with all ages, but I just noticed with some of my seniors, they were starting to not want to work out on land because of their joints and arthritis and osteoporosis, which they really should because of strength with weight bearing. And so I decided, I looked into it, went to some workshops, and decided I wanted to do that to just encourage them to keep exercising so they wouldn't get sedentary. And I'm actually glad I did it. I'm still doing my land, but I really enjoyed doing the water aerobics.
There are so many benefits. There are the obvious cardiovascular benefits that you would enjoy in most exercise programs, but there are some other benefits that we wouldn't recognize off the top of our heads. The water resistance is huge.
Right, yeah, and I was telling you, it's 12 to 20 times harder in the water when we do any weight bearing in the water. It's that much harder than the air. And we use noodles, we use gloves, we use just our hands sometimes. It depends on what program we're giving. But you develop coordination, you develop flexibility, you build up strength endurance as well as cardiovascular endurance. All the fitness components you get, and you don't feel it as hard as on land. And another thing is you just improve your activities of living by doing this. You know, it just helps in all, you know, for dressing, for eating, for grooming, for the senior, and it just keeps them, you know, balanced.
Right. We've talked previously, we've talked about the importance of building the core and how important for your balance and your coordination, because it is something that I think we tend to lose before we realize we're losing it. So to keep working on that and keep that in mind is very beneficial. I know that it's very similar to any land exercise program, but what kinds of movements in the water are more beneficial? Let's say I can't make it to a large pool, but I've got the above ground pool at my house. What can I be doing to improve?
You can buy a noodle at the dollar store or wherever, and with a noodle you can just stand and just pull it down. I mean, there's so many different things you can do, and just like instead of laying on the floor, you're working the core, you just push it, and there will be resistance pushing down. Coming up, it'll come up easy because of the buoyancy. But as you push straight down, that is working the core. You can twist, keep your feet flat, and that's working your waistline. You can push straight down, that's working your biceps, triceps. There's so many different exercises you can do. I mean, you don't have to have the noodle either. I mean, you can just go forward, you know, bring a knee up, and you're working your quad. There's so many different, and just move, and you're working something.
I was going to say make circles, right. Chest high water probably is the best benefit, I would imagine, although if you're, you know, don't forget, you want to build the muscle in your arms, your core, your legs, and not only will you look better because you're toning those muscles and becoming a little bit stronger, you'll feel so much better, and it does, it's an activity of life, and it does improve your outlook, the way you feel about yourself.
Absolutely.
What would you say the first priority that anyone, not just a senior, but any of our viewers should keep in mind when they think about a program like this?
As far as starting a program, they might check if they have never done, if they really haven't worked out all that much, they could ask the instructors or maybe the front desk, wherever they might go, because there's so many different programs available. There's like joints in motion, but there's also interval training. There's so many different ones. So if you're brand new at it, I would suggest a small, one that is a little bit easier on the joints, like joints in motion.
Right.
They could start there. I have so many that started there and they started improving and they wanted something harder, so they went to the next one, you know, which was just water aerobics for seniors. Then we had water aerobics #2. We have interval. We have the water Zumba that we have.
Pool party
yeah,
Zumba.
the pool party. But you know, you just want to make sure that you get an okay from the doctor first if you do have any problems, any health problems. But otherwise, you know, make sure that you just wear a one-piece bathing suit, or it can be 2, but not a bikini, so you don't lose something. Water shoes are very important. Some women like to wear a bathing cap. We kind of discourage that. We say wear a shower cap, because the bathing cap, when you're working out, you get hot and the heat doesn't dissipate.
Right.
So if anything, if you want to wear something so your hair doesn't get wet, bring a shower cap. So, and just bring yourself water is important, whether it's inside or outside.
Exactly,
Even
you're
though
still
we're in
working
water.
out.
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't get dehydrated.
Well, it's definitely not kicking back on my raft with a nice cold iced tea, and it's definitely not swimming 100 laps in a lap pool. It's somewhere in between, and yet there's a social aspect of it. There's always a number of people in all of the classes. You get to come, hang out, work out, have fun, not sweat maybe as much as you would normally in a regular exercise class. So Lori, thank you very much for joining us here. Thanks for explaining some of this to our viewers. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Remember, check with your doctor. Don't forget the sunscreen or the sun hat or whatever if you're going to come to an outdoor pool. And just get down here, work out, stay fit. We're going to take a short break and we will join you back in the studio. Stay tuned.
If you're looking for a new pet that your family will cherish every day, consider adopting from a shelter. Shelters are the best places to find a new pet. That's where you'll discover healthy, loyal, and loving animals, eager to become a part of your family. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet, so bring home your new buddy today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Hi, I'm Ben Bueller, owner and funeral director at Bueller Funeral Homes. My grandfather once told me, you can serve a family selfishly once, or treat them right and serve that family for generations.
Bueller Funeral Home has been serving Arizona families for 3 generations with affordable and reasonable services. Bueller Funeral Home feels a funeral should be as unique and personal as the individual it honors, whatever your choices, your traditions, or your budget.
You meet other people of your age or older. They are still active and interested. This gives you a bit of a boost too. I'm taking an art class and football for feminists. Yavapai College, life explored.
If spirit means you feel good, then I've accomplished that goal, because I do feel good physically and I feel good mentally. My name is Bob and I'm a lifelong learner at Yavapai College. Life explored.
What you got cooking? How's about cooking something up with me? Hey, sweet baby, don't you think maybe that we could find us a brand new recipe?
I got a hot rod Ford and a $2 bill, and I know a spot right over the hill. The soda pop and the dance is free. If you want to have fun, come along with me now.
Hey, good looking, what you got cooking? How's about cooking something up with me?
Oh, play magic fingers.
steady? How's about keeping steady company? No more looking, I know I've been tooken. How's about saving all your time for me?
I'm gonna throw my date book over the fence and find me one for 5 or 10 cents. I'll keep it till it's covered with age, 'cause I'm writing your name down in every page. And I'll hey, good looking, what you got cooking? How's about cooking something up? How's about cooking something up? How's about cooking something up with me?
Woo!
Thank you.
All right. Lorena Willmon, Mike Burdick, the Verde Valley's very own Cactus Cats. All right. Thank you for coming in and joining us, and that was great. I've been seeing your names pop up in some of the different publications around here. You're kind of getting around. You guys get around. Is that how you want to put it?
We get around. Mostly Mike gets around.
Oh, okay. We'll go with that
I don't advertise that one.
Well, we're trying to get around more and more. Yeah, it's a challenge.
Bit River Books, and that's been a great place for local musicians. Heritage Museum we mentioned. There's been a few other places that we'll talk a little bit about, but I want to not forget to mention that next up will be you'll be appearing at the National Day of the Cowboy in Sedona.
In Sedona, yes.
We will. And that's going to be very exciting. In a future show very soon, we will have the folks from the National Day of the Cowboy come in. We're going to find out a little bit more about that, but just to know you guys are going to be there, that's pretty exciting. Where did the Cactus Cats originate?
Where did the Cactus Cats originate, Mike?
Well, in Sedona, the Performers Guild had sponsored a songwriting, not contest, a songwriting program, and we both are songwriters, and that's where we met. We were both in the seminar, and I said I do pretty good with chords and melodies, and Lorena said she does pretty good with lyrics, and I said, maybe we could get together and do some things, and that led to us getting together. We've not really collaborated a lot. We've been working more on getting repertoire ready and that sort of thing. Like the Day of the Cowboy, we're working more on cowboy, older Western tunes instead of the more modern Hank Williams kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely a difference.
Yeah, it is. Normally we play with backing tracks, so it sounds like a whole band with bass and guitar and drums and that sort of thing. But for that particular show, we're going to just go with the guitar, or we'll have a little PA so you can hear us, and we're going to sing for 3 hours, and so we're preparing a lot of repertoire for that.
That sounds great, though. It's going to be exhausting, but I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, it's exciting.
It is. It definitely seems like it. So the Guild now has changed. Are you still part of the...
Mike knows about the Guild.
Okay.
I'm a mix engineer.
Okay.
And it's now the Sedona Performing Arts Alliance.
Correct. But what a great organization to get some of the local musicians.
Oh, it's been great. We were part of Gumption Fest last year. We're on the slate for Gumption Fest again this year, and that call for musicians usually comes through the SPAA now, and so we answered that call, and we're going to don't have the schedule yet, but that's coming up in September.
Right.
And I've had an opportunity. I get to see. Oh boy, I've met traveling musicians, Grammy award-winning musicians, and I mix the shows there, and now at the Mary Fisher Theater as well, where they have comedians and usually just singer-songwriters, small acts, and that sort of thing. So it's been a wonderful opportunity for me to meet a lot of people.
Mary D. Fisher has been keeping very, very busy and keeping a lot of entertainment in and out of there.
Yeah, they've done a really great job. They've got all of these movies coming in, and then they worked out with the Performing Alliance that the International Film Festival doesn't do a lot of booking. They don't have expertise in booking live acts, so the SPAA is handling that, and we're also handling the sound requirements for those shows. So they have a full agenda with movies, and then we handle some of the live performances over there.
Well, although we love hearing about about those kinds of venues, because we should feel very fortunate here in the Verde Valley that we have something like that we can take advantage of. But where else? I'm more interested right now in where else I can listen to the Cactus Cats.
On our website.
Website, that's true.
No, I want to go out. Where am I going to go to do it? Where else are you guys being able to appear?
Well, last year we did Moonlight Madness.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
In Uptown, so I'm not sure if that's on the slate yet for this year, but we had them dancing in the streets.
I can imagine.
We did.
That was fun.
Yeah.
And we're working on some other venues right now. We've been kind of laying low because for the Bent River Books performance, we put together kind of an Americana thing all pre-1922, and we did a sing-along. And we did songs all the way back to Stephen Foster, Civil War era, and people came and sang along, and we had a ball. It took us, that was another one that took about a month of preparation.
Oh, I'm sure.
So we're a little bit behind in getting out there and doing some more bookings. But there are a lot of places in the area that I've played either solo or with other groups, and we're going to go knocking on doors.
Well, keep that in mind, and if you know any open doors that they can knock on, let's get them out there so that we can go take advantage of it. A couple songs here in the studio is just not nearly enough, that's for sure. Anything else that we should know about the two of you, or the two of you as Cactus Cats? What else do you want people to remember when they come check you out at some of the different venues?
To please dance.
Yes.
If there's room on the floor, please dance. We love to see people dance. And sometimes people are a little shy, but the truth is most of our music is very danceable.
And sing-alongable.
Yeah.
We have a very broad repertoire. We've really spent a lot of time on that. We've added a few original songs in there, so there's some fun new things that you've never heard. And just come out and have fun. We're about having fun. We laugh, we tell bad jokes. Well, Lorena will tell you that I tell the bad jokes. That's my job. Besides playing guitar, I tell bad jokes.
Well, when you're out having fun, it's all about some of the bad jokes sometimes. I have to admit that. And I have to say that the dancing's good exercise, and you get to listen to somebody like this while you're getting some exercise and out there dancing and having fun. It doesn't get much better than that. So, having said that, let's hear some more of the another tune out of that repertoire.
All right.
Okay.
Cactus Cats.
Deep within my heart lies a melody, a song of old San Antone, where in dreams I live with a memory beneath the stars all alone. It was there I found beside the Alamo enchantment strange as the blue up above, and a moonlit past that only she would know. Still hears my broken song of love. Moon with all your splendor knows only my heart. Bring back my rose, rose of San Antone. Lips so sweet and tender, like petals falling apart. Speak once again of my love, my own. Broken songs, empty words I know, still live in my heart all alone. For that moonlit past beside the Alamo, and rose, my rose of San Antone. It was there I found beside the Alamo enchantment strange as the blue up above, and the moonlit past that only he would know. Still hears my broken song of love. Moon in all your splendor knows only my heart. Bring back my rose, rose of San Antone. Lips so sweet and tender, like petals falling apart. Speak once again of my love, my own. Moon in all your splendor knows only my heart. Bring back my rose, rose, rose of San Antone. Lips so sweet and tender, like petals falling apart. Speak once again of my love, my own. Broken song, empty words I know, still live in my heart all alone. For that moon that passed beside the Alamo, and rose my rose of San Antone, and rose my rose of San Antone, and rose my rose of San Antone.